Good morning, everyone. It's Sunday. Hope the light isn't too bright. I had to put my flash on to record because I'm in the bed. And we have blackout curtains in our room, so it's dark and I'm not getting up to put the light on. Just hope everyone's having a good Sunday. I didn't make church because I'm in so much pain. It hurts so bad to walk, like to pick my legs up. It hurts. I overdid it this week. Saturday, I should say. I overdid it. Like, that was just too much on my body. Might as well say Friday, too. I had to go get my niece and nephew in Alabama, drive back to Florida, go to a track practice. I took them to go do some Christmas shopping for their parents. And got them something to eat, went home and ate, helped them wrap the gifts. Then we took them to the Christmas lights display, which is in the video that I uploaded, and had to drive them back to Alabama. And I think we got home. It was like 9:30, 10 o'clock last night. I don't know. I'm miserable. So I just took a pain pill. And I'm also a relaxer. I got up long enough just to have some cereal so I could have something on my stomach. But my husband did go to church. But I couldn't. He didn't even, excuse me. I had my alarm set for 2 different times. And I kept turning them off. And he didn't even wake me because he knew. Like, my butterfly rash last night was horrible. Like, this time it felt different. Like, it's one thing to wake up with the rash, but it felt like the rash weighed 20 pounds on my face, if that makes any sense. I was itching all night last night. And that kind of happens when I have a flare. And also, I guess since it's colder, your skin, I need to get some type of, like cocoa body butter or something just to help a little bit more. But like my fingers are like swollen last night. I couldn't even, like, my toes, like I can pop my toes. I know that might be TMI, but I can't even, like, nothing happens. That's how bad and swollen it was. I mean, it's worse that you get time to spend with your family, but at the same time I have to learn to just listen to my body. And I already didn't feel good yesterday from the day before. We had to go to Alabama for my brother's birthday. So I know I can rest for the rest of the day. But guess what? Tomorrow I have an appointment with the lung doctor, and that is in Alabama. And to get to this doctor is actually at the beach in Alabama. So it'll take me about an hour. Because my brother's house is about 40 minutes to 45, depending on traffic. And I think this doctor is about an hour away. So I'm just praying. It's like you don't want anything to be wrong, but I want them to see what's going on with my chest, why it hurts to breathe in, why my sats keep dropping. Sometimes if I'm talking, my oxygen will drop. And sometimes when I'm walking, it'll drop. Sometimes I'm not doing anything, it'll drop. So it's just frustrating to know, like, you have documented stuff with the hospital that your oxygen dropped in the 70s. They send you home with oxygen. But when you follow up with, pulmonologists here in the area, they're just like, oh, well, you don't need it anymore because your sats look good right now. Well, they might look good right now, but they're really not good. So it was frustrating for that year and a half because I went through 2 heart caths, echocardiograms, Holter monitors, like all kinds of stuff. And no one could ever tell me why really my oxygen was dropping. I just knew I didn't have pulmonary hypertension because they thought that I had that. So, I mean, I'm thankful, but they just say, oh, well, it's just your lupus attacking your lungs. But most people that have lupus, that, there is an actual diagnosis of what's wrong with their lungs. I had lung biopsies, and that was painful. And nothing came back, so I don't know. And Asha came home. I watched her video. I think it was a newly released video because I'm behind on a lot of videos, at least a week behind on a lot. So she did a video, so she's out of the hospital. So everyone continue to pray for her. She's super awesome. Go over to her channel and check her out. One of the other channels that I follow, Alicia Southern Cruise 7, she did an awesome thing, which I feel like in the autoimmune community, when you have smaller channels, this will be a positive thing, is she literally put anyone that she was subscribed to, she did a small video telling people to go and show that page love. And I thought that was amazing because she has a whole lot more followers than I do. But the fact that, she took her time and she has autoimmune, to do that, I thought that was the greatest idea ever. So I feel like us as small channels should do that. And that's just getting awareness about this disease and getting awareness. I mean, I follow people that don't have autoimmune, but, I feel like if there's some favorites, I would like to spread that too. So thank you, Alicia, for doing that awesome idea. So guys, check out her channel. I will have the name across the screen, and I'll try to put it in the description box if I download this video from my laptop. So I'm going to go to sleep now. Hey guys, today is Monday, and I am headed to Alabama to go to the lung doctor. So guys, when I tell you it's 77 degrees here in Florida, it's crazy. Like, it was just 41 degrees this weekend. So this weather is just up and down, up and down. But yeah, I am headed to see what's going on with this breathing. It was really, like yesterday I had a video, I guess I'll attach it. It was really bad yesterday, and I was in bed all day yesterday. I had breakfast, and I literally didn't eat again until, I think I had some Ritz, and I didn't have anything again until like that night. I had a salad at maybe 7 or something, 8. I just did not, I had no energy. Every time I would get up, my oxygen would drop. I was just really weak and fatigued, so I didn't make church yesterday or anything. So I wish my husband could have been with me, but Easter has an appointment, like I said, to get her wheelchair, to get a new wheelchair. So they custom her wheelchair, so she has to be there for them to measure everything and all of that good jazz. So otherwise he would have drove me. Got enough gas to get over there. I'll probably have to have gas to get back. But yeah, I really don't have too much, going on. I'll have, this vlog will be day 11, and then I will be putting up day 12, which will be a final tour of everything that I've done for Christmas. I just finished some garland. I did a video, but I ended up taking it apart and redoing something else, so I may put that out, but it wouldn't be a Vlogmas. It'll just be a video, like a DIY or whatever. So yeah, that. But I'm not decorating anything else, so I don't really think it's going to be a whole lot of people coming from my dad's side, because everyone's saying that they can't make it, which I get it, because it's Christmas. Like, I don't know, like, I just don't want people showing up and they didn't RSVP, because I'm not going to go spend a whole bunch of money on food and then nobody shows up, or then people did show up that didn't RSVP, so they might be out of gas when it comes to a plate. I'm just saying. So my cousin lives in New Orleans, but she'll already be in Alabama, because that's where she lives and is from. Because I was saying, well, you guys don't have to come all the way from New Orleans, you know, if nobody's going to show up. But she said they will already be in Alabama, so it's no big deal. So me and my husband are going to go shopping tomorrow. And we're getting everything tomorrow. I'm not going to be, you know, back and forth trying to get stuff. I'm just not. I'm just going to do what we plan on doing. I told her we would do the meat. I would do collard greens. I forgot. I just said collard greens. And forgot to put the ham hocks in the crock pot. I'll tell my husband, I'll call him and see if he can put them in for me. I just completely forgot. But yeah, and I said I was going to do dressing, but she said her daughter wanted to do dressing, but she's in culinary school. She can really cook. I've only really had her, she can bake a lot of stuff, but I'm really funny on dressings. I'm just being real. So I don't really, you know, I'm gonna make my mom's dressing like I always do, because that's just what I do. I may not bring it out for everyone to see, but I'm gonna make some of my mom's dressing. That's pretty much it when it comes to what we're gonna do for the holidays. Because, you know, I said we'll do a turkey and ham, because we really don't want turkey, but we'll just be nice, because everybody else, a lot of people like turkey. I need to ask her, do they even eat turkey? Because I just hate to get something and then it goes to waste. I'm about to hop on the interstate. Y'all, when I tell you I'm like living, I'm doing 85 miles and this car is on my behind. Instead of him just getting on over, if I'm not going, I'm going above the speed limit, you need to go around. Stuff like that makes me want to just ram people off the doggone road. I'm serious. Idiot. Like, I can't stand that. Don't ride my tail when the interstate is busy. I can't go nowhere. If you got an emergency, you need to freaking put your emergency blinkers on. I'm just saying.
Hey Cheryl,
How are you?
you're in the wrong chair.
I'm in the wrong chair.
How's it going? How's the kids?
He's 17 now. That sounds like that.
You got pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, show me a picture.
It's a little. He's in Virginia.
No, I have finished my project. I finished all my coursework.
That's good.
That's like, they call it a doctoral candidate. You still have to finish your project
Wow.
before you can
Finish
like,
everything.
change your
Title.
letterhead and stuff, yeah.
Um,
So no, I'm excited. I'm trying to do a trip, you know, after I graduate, probably a cruise. I've never been on a cruise before in my
Really?
life. Never.
You would love it.
And God, it's been 14 months since you've been here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Thought I would have saw you at Monica's wedding. It turned out really nice.
good Lord. She better not have no more children.
I don't think she can.
I hope not.
Yeah, I think she got her tubes tied after Darius. He turned out, he's so handsome.
I know.
I hadn't seen him since he was like little. And she's about to be a grandma.
Wow, your weight has went up
A lot.
a lot.
I finally just told the doctor, like, I'm not doing prednisone unless, like, I absolutely have to. But my lupus has just been haywire.
And it's one of these medicines that you're on?
Yeah, well, I guess with the Benlysta, and I was doing prednisone every month too. So
I
was only on 5, but I started having protein continuously in my urine, and she was just like, I don't think that's what's causing it. I was like, well, it's something. So I told her, I was like, I'm not taking it anymore. But I've literally been on antibiotics from August the 10th up until like the week before Thanksgiving on antibiotics. So I was off of all of my Cellcep, my Benlysta, because of the antibiotics. I had surgery in September, and the site kept getting infected and opening back. And this was the second like redo surgery. It was like female surgery. And he put me on antibiotics before surgery. After surgery, then the culture came back that I had enterococcus that grew in it. So then I had to go infectious disease. They did a round of oral antibiotics. It didn't work. I kept draining. So then I had to do IV Vanco for 2 weeks.
What month was that?
The Vanco? November.
Do you have to have a PICC line?
I have them at a board. Alright guys, so I'm done at the doctor. And I did record, some of what she was talking about. Really, we were just like catching up, and she was getting an update of like what's been going on with me in personal life and in health. And so they did a chest x-ray, which I didn't film the chest x-ray, and they did a stress test. So I did the stress test, and I think I had to walk for like 8 minutes, and it was pretty fast. And I'm like, I'm out of breath, but my oxygen only dropped to 92. Seems like when you have issues and you finally get to go to the doctor, and nothing really shows up. But my heart rate, she was really concerned about, because like I've been telling you, my heart rate's been like 128 sometimes. So like just me getting on the treadmill and taking like 2 steps, my heart rate jumped to like 137. So the highest that my heart rate was, I think, was about 148, 150 with doing the exercise. But when she looked at my x-ray compared to the last chest x-ray, my heart, she said, is a little bit larger. So she wants my cardiologist to do a stress test. Not a stress test, I'm sorry, an echocardiogram to see what's going on. She said the right side, my everything was good, but it's on the left side that there's some questions. So they're going to schedule that, and then I have to come back and see her in about 6 weeks. So, yeah. And if I remember correctly, back in when I first saw him, when I was on oxygen, her husband, he was saying something about my heart then, but the cardiologist was making it seem like everything was fine. Sorry, I had to order my food. So, yeah. She said that was enlarged, and now I have to have the echocardiogram with the cardiologist. My pain doctor's office, they just called, and I'm scheduled for January the 16th to get my injection on my SI joints. So yeah, so I get the SI injections on the 16th. I'm supposed to see her back on the 22nd of January. They wanted to do my SI joint injection on the 27th, but that's the day of my infusion. So I just told her I needed a couple weeks after the infusion before I tried to get, to get it done. But she feels like from a pulmonary standpoint, she feels like I'm good. She doesn't know why my sats drop, and I just told her my lupus is pretty much, been all over the place. So we'll see what this echocardiogram shows, because I don't know if they're going to make me see the heart doctor or just, excuse me, schedule me to actually just have the echocardiogram. So we'll see. It's 3:35, so we did good with timing. My appointment was at 2 o'clock, so she's on it. Now, her husband, he's not. I think he was just now getting to clinic when I was about to leave. So, yeah. And the first time I worked for them. Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too. The first time I ever worked for them and clocked in, it was so crazy. We had to be at work. I only worked Monday, Wednesday, Friday, all right? But yet they were like, well, it's full time. And I'm thinking to myself, how is that full time? You know, they kind of warned to say, hey, he works weird hours, but I didn't think anything, of it. And I was straight out of school. So the first time I clocked in at noon and I clocked out at 5 a.m. the next morning. Yeah. And at first, like, when I was my ex-husband Jericho's dad, I was like, he didn't believe me. I just thought I was out creeping or something. But he started, one time he brought me to work. I was like, you can sit here if you want to or whatever to pick me up. And he was like, this is crazy, but that's how good of a doctor he is. And then the area here in Alabama, there wasn't really any other good pulmonologists. So literally people came from this area, other states, people, like, they traveled, and he doesn't tell people no. So he literally was going from 3 offices that he had, all the hospitals, and trying to see people. So that's why I said, when I was dealing with all this lung stuff and they couldn't figure it out, I was just like, I'm going to him because he knows what the heck he's doing. So I would just make it a trip to say, what they would do is just call you when it's time when he's on his way. So I would just stay at my brother's house, so I wasn't on the road that late. But when I worked for him, he ordered pizza for the patients. And at that time, they didn't even let people go home. They just made them sit there for hours on end. So they fed them Papa John's. And I had Papa John's my entire pregnancy with my son. And I don't even eat Papa John's anymore. Like, I just don't. Because when you eat it all the time. But literally, I would have 40 plus hours in those 3 days. So, yeah. And the money was good. They gave really, really nice bonuses. I think the most that I got for a Christmas bonus was like $1,500. And if his wife didn't like you, she would give you like $200 or $100, just depending. Sometimes she would give you $50 just to tick you off. But yeah, like, they really took care of me. Like, they were going to pay for me to finish my nursing degree. And, I was all ready for school and everything. I worked for them for like 4 years. But then my dad got sick and, I had to stop. I took some time off from there to take care of him. And then when he passed away, so it's like every time I tried to go back to school to finish certain other degrees, seems like someone would die. So, yeah. But let me eat. I only ordered mozzarella sticks. Like, I felt like I wanted a Arby meal, and I don't do the cheddar. I do with Swiss cheese. And it's small, but for whatever reason, when I pulled up, something just said, don't get it. I don't know. So I just got some mozzarella sticks. So I'm going to focus on my food and driving, and I'll come back a little bit later.